I'm just going to start your reading right now for Virgo. I'll stop being silly. I'm sorry. The first card you have for your past is the moon. So the moon can be, it's a very deep, very moody card. It can be about very deep feelings, the subconscious. It can be about feeling frustrated, trying to get out of something, all sorts of different things. So I think you were a bit down about yourself because you weren't able to do something. I think you're also frustrated with someone as well. So it was a little bit like you wanted to do this thing, and this was something this is something you used to do. I'm just saying, this is something you used to do once. It might have been something like a class or a group, because I'm seeing a group of people. So I think this is something you used to do. You really loved doing whatever this was, and you just weren't able to do this at this time. You just weren't. But I think there was someone around you, and I think they were trying to push you or force you to do whatever this was. And I think you just couldn't do this. So you were upset that you couldn't do this. You were frustrated with them talking to you about this all the time, going, yes, you can, try and do this. What about that? Why don't you try this? And they just didn't understand you, and that made you frustrated. And it was also the idea that maybe they were insinuating that you were kind of making things up as well. They weren't taking you seriously. So that was frustrating you and upsetting you as well. And I'm actually seeing you telling them, you told them over and over again, I'm not able to do this right now. I'm just not able to. And there are other things they're trying to get you to do as well. But this is the big thing, I think, because this is the thing that you really did want to do, but you knew that you couldn't do this. And I don't know if you had some kind of illness or injury. It was something like that. Something was stopping you. It might have been something like that. And I think you did have some hope. I think you did have some hope deep down that you'd be able to do this again at some time. But I think you just knew you couldn't do it at this time. What I'm seeing is when I'm looking at this lobster in this card, there's a lobster right at the bottom. It's just coming out of the water. And he's trying to improve things for himself. He's trying to come out. But then when he tries, he comes out, he struggles, he gets out, and here's this horrible wolf and this dog howling and barking at him while he's trying to get up the hill. And this is what I'm seeing, that you're like the lobster and this person's like this dog and this wolf kind of barking, yes, you can do this, do that. And you're like, well, I'm trying my best, but I can only do what I can. So stop going on and on. That's kind of the thing I'm seeing. So, it just wasn't helping you, and it was making you feel worse, actually. So, you know what, I'm actually seeing that they might actually go away. They might go away just for a while, not forever. I won't say anything, but yeah, I think they are going to go away for a short time. There is some traveling, I think, and they are going to go. So I think if this is resonating, if you know that they are going to do that, try and use that time while they're away to maybe think about some strategies to help you to deal with them. I actually don't think this person's ever going to change. They're like that. They're very pushy. They don't listen to people. That's the kind of person they are. So I think you're probably going to have to change the way you deal with this person. And either get away from them or something, because I think if you are physically injured or hurt or frustrated that you can't do this, and then you have this person that isn't really taking you seriously, that's going to make you a lot worse. It might be a hidden injury that they can't see. A lot of people do that with, mental illness. They like, oh, you look fine today. They don't really understand, and it just makes you feel worse. So the next card you have your past is the Star. So yeah, you will be able to do this again. This is the Star. This is hope. You're going to be able to do this again. And I think you are a bit hopeful. I was seeing that in the Moon card as well. You're a bit hopeful, but I think you also know that, it's just going to take time. It's going to take a lot of effort for you to be able to do that. I think this might be something creative, actually, because I am seeing some creativity. And I am seeing some kind of institution. So I think this might be something like studying, something creative, and a group. So it might be a class as well. And, I think you did start this and you had to stop. That's what I was seeing in the Moon card. So I think when you stopped, you felt really lost. you know, you kind of didn't know where to go. If you look at this woman, she's naked, she's all alone, and I think you might have felt a little bit vulnerable, alone, not quite knowing what you're going to do. And I think it really upset you when you had to stop this, because you loved doing this. And obviously it was not helping when this person kept going on and on about it. It was really driving you crazy and making you really feel upset, and kind of making you feel, I mean, you felt bad enough to begin with. You didn't want to feel guilty and bothered and angry and annoyed on top of feeling bad. I mean, I know I'm laughing, but it's really terrible. So yeah, I think this is reminding you to keep this hope alive, because you have this beautiful star here. And also, I think if this is studying, if this is formal study, don't be afraid of losing credits or whatever work you've done so far, because I think you have done something and then you had to stop. So I think whoever's in charge of this is going to be really understanding about work you've done in the past. So try not to worry about that. And, you know, also, there's an ibis on this card, this bird, and it's right next to this woman's elbow. So maybe there is some kind of arm, elbow, shoulder, back, some kind of injury. I don't know, I just keep on seeing that. It might not resonate with you, might just resonate with a few people. But an ibis is, you know, a very, very resilient bird. It can survive just about any situation. You know, they live in cities, they live all over the place, and they can survive. They're very strong, and they're big as well. So you're going to be very resilient. You are going to be able to get yourself back to that. You'll come back. Yeah, but in the meantime, really think about what to do about this person, because you're not going to become strong or resilient or whatever if you've got this person around you bringing you down. That's what I'm seeing, and you know that. So the last card you have for your past is the Page of Wands. So yeah, similar thing. I keep on seeing this. Studying, because the pages are students. And also I'm getting this kind of worry around this as well. So you are kind of, how am I going to do this? You've got this hope, but you've also got this, oh, how am I going to do this? Am I really going to be able to do this? It's one thing to have hope in your heart, but it's another thing to have your mind work out how you are going to actually practically do something. So you might be thinking, how am I going to do this? And you know, this one's bigger than this page. So at the moment, it might feel bigger than you can cope with. And obviously wands are about action. So you do want to do this. You do want to go ahead and do this, but you're kind of like, how am I going to do this? How long is it going to take? Am I going to be able to get back and do this? And you've got all these worries around you. Lots and lots of worries swirling around in your head. And I'm seeing that because I'm looking at the page's tunic. Just want to show you how I can see that. And there are all these kind of lizards, salamanders, and they're all spinning around in circles. It looks really alive almost. They're all kind of turning around and around. And this is like all these different little worries. There are hundreds of them all in your head going around and around at the same time. And you can't focus on each one and solve each one because you've got so many all going around and around. It's like, which one am I going to tackle first? What if they don't let me in again? What if they don't give me credits for what I've done? What if they say no? What if I never get better? What if I'll never be able to go back? What if this and that and that and the other thing? So try and narrow them down, maybe write them all down if you can on a piece of paper, on your phone, somewhere. Look at each individual problem, tick it off. One of the things I think you might be worrying about is being a little bit afraid of contacting this place or this institution or whoever's in charge of this thing. Because I think, yeah, you are afraid, I think, of what they have to say. But you know, you don't need to worry about this if this is resonating. I think if you do contact them, I think they'd actually be really understanding. And at least they tell you exactly what you need to know, so you don't have to worry about the what ifs. You'll know where you are. So please talk to them. Please do that, because it's going to remove a lot of this stress and a lot of these kind of little worries going around. But again, also write all the things down individually and just focus on each one individually and tackle each one so that it doesn't look like all these things and it's all overwhelming. So I hope that all helps you. Yeah, so the first card you have for your presence, the Four of Cups. Yeah, so this card's obviously about, saying no to something or saying no to someone. It can also be about feeling a bit depressed. And the moon card can be about that as well. I actually don't think you are depressed. You are a bit down about this whole thing and worrying about it, but I'm not actually seeing depression here. But I think this person in the moon card, this person who keeps on asking you, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? They might be suspecting that you are depressed. So they might be saying things, why don't you go out here? Why don't you do this there? Why don't you do? And it's like, look, I just can't right now. I'm not depressed. I just kind of tried to explain this to you. But they're just not listening. And I don't think they really understand what you're going through. They've got some mind made up. They've got their mind made up that this is what's wrong or that's what's wrong. If only you did this, that'll make you better. Do that, do that. It's, all of that kind of thing. They just don't understand. They might even think that you're being a bit ungrateful, actually, because you're not following their advice. But, you're not ungrateful at all. You just know their advice isn't right for you. That's why you're not following. It might even be bad for you. They might be saying, oh, for example, if you do have an injury, they might be saying, oh, go and walk up here and do that and run up this hill and do this and that. And you're like, well, no, that would be the worst thing for me. I've got a doctor who's telling me I should do this. I'm not going to listen to you, am I? So it might be something like that. If it's not an injury, it's something that they're just not understanding. They're giving you advice that you shouldn't be taking, but they're suspecting something else is wrong, or that it's all in your mind or something like that. And that's actually quite insulting. So I'm actually getting a bit mad about them. So I'm not going to say any more about that person. So the next card you have for your present is the Six of Pentacles. So apart from all that, I think there is a person around you. I think this is a love connection. I don't know what stage you are at with them, whether you've just met them, whether it's early on, or whether it's a little bit more established than that, or a lot more. I am getting an early feeling around this, because I am seeing that there might be something about them that you might not know yet. Now, don't worry, it's not a terrible thing. Well, it depends on the way you see things, but I don't think it's terrible. It's, they're a little bit traditional, I think. They're a bit traditional. That it might be that they see roles in a relationship in a traditional way, or it might be that they believe strongly in marriage or some kind of very strict thing like that. So, it might not be that, it might be something else. But I think you're going to find this out as time goes on. And I think if you are in an established relationship with this person, this is something that they might not have shown you. Like, you know them really well, but then later on you have some conversation and that comes out and you think, oh, I didn't know that's what you thought. Sometimes this thing can come out. Sometimes these things can come out when people have been married or together for years and years and years, and they come out and say something and you're like, wow, I didn't know that. I thought I knew you. So it could be something like that. Now, yeah, so, and obviously this card's about money as well, so it might also be about money. They might have strict ideas about money. Now, you're organized when it comes to money. You're an organized person, I know that. But this is more like an attitude. It's an outlook toward money. It's not about how you handle and manage money. It's about how you see it as a concept. So yeah, again, I don't think this is terrible, but I think it is a surprise. I don't want to worry you, but that's what I'm seeing. And I think this is an issue that's going to come up between you in the future. And I think you're going to have to discuss this, have some kind of compromise around this, them or you or both. So that's something that's going to come up probably. So the last card you have, your presence, the Ten of Swords. So yeah, I know this is specific. I know not everyone has this, but I keep on seeing this over and over and over again, this injury. And I'm seeing an injury or an illness or something. And that's what's stopping you from keeping up with this study or whatever this is. There's, again, some kind of back, arm, shoulder thing. I keep on seeing that. Now, if you're still going through this, which I think you are, I can see there are times when you do feel really down, not depressed, just down. Now, just know this is what this card's telling you. It might feel bad now, whatever this is, but there's an end to this. There is some kind of either recovery or it's some kind of improvement in whatever this is. Now, of course, I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to me. If you need to see a doctor, please do that. Don't see me, see a doctor. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to things like this, but this is just what I'm seeing in this card, some kind of improvement coming to you. Because the sun, even though this man's obviously hurt, he's injured and all of that, the sun's coming up in the background. So, you know, it's a sunny day. There's another day ahead of you. Positivity. So don't give up. You know, if you're having a down day, which you do have them, you know, remember this card. I know it's a horrible looking card. Maybe you don't want to remember this ugly looking card. But, you know, think about the sun coming up again, because it's going to. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have for your future is the Four of Swords. Again, I'm seeing this specific thing. So if this doesn't resonate, I'm very sorry. I'm seeing a very, very clear thing all through this. Again, I know not everyone has an injury, but that's what I'm seeing. Some kind of injury, rest in front of you to recuperate, to recover. And that's what's going to happen. You're probably going to rest for a while, and then you're going to be able to gradually get back into this studying. That's what I'm seeing. You're going to be able to take this up, but it's going to happen gradually, and I think probably in smaller bits. So you might be doing shorter sessions. You might be doing 1 day a week or something, or an hour here and there, or whatever. It's something that happens gradually, and then you're going to gradually build up into doing more. I think this place of study is very flexible. I am seeing, what I'm seeing is, if you look at this card, I know it's hidden by the flower, I know that, but there's a stained glass window, and I'm seeing that that's the institution. And at the moment, you feel forced to lie down, rest and recover, like this man who's lying down, and you're worrying all about this because you're worrying about what's going to happen. Are you going to be able to get up and go through that window where that beautiful colour is, where the institution is, so you can do what you love to do? You know, when he wakes up, he is going to see the window. You are going to be able to do that. That's what this is showing me. So don't worry about being thrown out or anything dramatic like that. It's not going to happen. I think this is actually going to lead you to a new career, a new beginning with that beautiful, colourful window. And yeah, and that's going to be something you love, something you really love doing. You know, I just feel as if I have to keep on telling you that you're still going to be able to do this. You're going to go back to this. And also that when you call this institution, you talk to them or whatever you do, you'll realize how flexible they are. And once you realize that, you'll feel a lot more content, a lot more comfortable, and you'll know that you'll be able to at least start this, even if it's slow. Even one class, one thing, whatever it is a start. And so you know you're getting somewhere. So that's what I'm seeing with that. So the next card you have for your future is Justice. Yeah, I don't know if this love connection that I was seeing in the Six of Pentacles is older than you. They might be. I think they're older in their ways, a bit more mature in a lot of ways. I keep on seeing someone who's quite strict. They have strict ideas about things. I'm not seeing a controlling person. I'm not seeing that at all. I'm just seeing that they're strict with themselves and their own life and how they do things. They have rules that they make for themselves, and they're very, very strict about that. They stick to things. They're very disciplined. And I think when you first met them, they might have seemed a little bit cold even at the beginning. Maybe not cold, but maybe, you know, standoffish or, you know, businesslike. That's a better way to describe it. A bit more businesslike. But, you know, I think once they give their heart to someone, that's it. That's it. They love really, really deeply. So I think it's a little bit of mirage, that coldness, because actually it's not really there. What's behind it is a really big heart, actually. And I'm also seeing that this person is, you know, a really big support for you as well. When you go back to this, if this is studying or whatever else this is, you know, they really value education. I think they're a very intelligent person. They're very good with their words. They're eloquent and all of that. So yeah, I'm seeing that, and I'm seeing them as being very, very supportive for you in that way. And they balance you out. Justice is all about balance. So you're kind of one way, they're another way, and they're very different to you, but you do balance each other out. That's what I'm seeing as well. So the last card you have in your future is the fantastic Ace of Pentacles, of course. So if any cards here, if any card anywhere in this whole deck is going to show you that you'll be able to reach this goal, career, other goal, whatever it is, this is the one. This is the one. This is a guarantee. This is a guarantee that you're going to be able to do this. It's going to happen at the right time for you. Again, it's going to happen gradually. You're going to ease into this. So, and I think when you do go back and you study, it's going to be very different from when you were doing it before. You're going to have a whole different attitude this time, because I think before you were like, okay, I want to pass, I want to get, you know, whatever thing, you know, I want to get this, I want to get through this, I want a career when I finish, then I'm going to do that, and you're focused on the goals, which is fine. But I think this time you're going to focus on the process, and you're going to really slow down. You're going to be mindful of each hour that you're there, each minute that you're there, each thing you're doing. You're going to really, really concentrate, enjoy each moment, and really be in the moment, in each moment. And that's really, really special. And because of that, you're going to learn a lot more. That's what I'm seeing. And you're going to enjoy it a lot more. And you're also going to be a lot more grateful, because you thought you lost this once. You thought you lost this, and now you're back here again. You're like, I'm so happy to be back here again. I'm really making the most of every moment. I'm enjoying every moment. And because of that, you're going to remember a lot more, and you're going to learn a lot more. And the results are actually going to be better because of that as well. That's what I'm seeing there. And yeah, I didn't mean for this to turn into a work and health reading, but that's how it went. That's what I saw. So this is what I'm telling you. So Virgo, I hope this resonated. I didn't cough once. That was really amazing. General readings, as you know, can't always resonate with everyone. But if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if that's what you'd like to do. And again, thank you so much for watching.